Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with our first Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, especially if you are live the day the show is released. We're going through our community's questions, all things wellness, weight loss, weight gain, anti-aging, health coaching, you name it. We are here to do our best to help. So as always, I have to give you this disclaimer. I'm not here to provide you with any medical advice, medical consultations, medical cures, medical treatment plans, medical diagnosis, any of those medical-based things. I'm here to help you discover the underlying root causes for the reasons why you are out of imbalance in the first place. So, having said all that, let's dive right into the show. First question today is from Michael. It came in on, April 7th, way back on April 7th. And I know we are on July 2nd right now. So we are, we're getting 10 weeks or so behind, and that is only because we have so many questions coming in. So again, my recommendation is ask your question first at cabralsupportgroup.com. If you do not want to search for your keyword at stephencabral.com/podcast so that you can get faster answers to your questions and not have to wait 10 weeks or so. All right, so Michael's up first. Hi, Stephen. I hope you're doing well. I'm an Addison's disease patient since July 2021. After a long few months trying to get a diagnosis, brain fog, weight loss, anxiety, panic attacks, adrenal crisis, and OCD. I'm hearing a lot about the different diets for autoimmune diseases and wondering your thoughts on cutting out gluten and sugar and dairy to help. Currently taking cortisone daily. Also in terms of vitamins, what should I be taking to get my life back on track? I've had the virus twice. Recently came across your podcast on adrenal fatigue and heard you had Addison's as well. The thought of being on these heavy meds for life is kind of scary. I had all the symptoms you had and would love your opinion. Thanks, Michael. All right. So, Michael, thank you so much for writing in. And we all have to understand that Addison's disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, POTS, myalgic encephalomyelitis is not one thing. So just like an autoimmune disease isn't one thing. So there's not one thing to take. There's not one vitamin off. There's not one mineral off. There's not one heavy metal off, right? So the reason you get these things is because you filled up your rain barrel and it overflowed now, and you now have the autoimmune issue or the Addisons, etc. So if you haven't read my book, Michael, I definitely recommend reading The Rain Barrel Effect. It's free. You just go to stephencabral.com, get your free copy. You just pay shipping. That's it. So definitely check that out because you want a full basis, because then you'll better understand like how to go about this, because you can overcome this. All right. People are told that they can't overcome Addison's disease. I was told that as well. So you need to figure out your gut function. You need to figure out why the inflammation is run amok in the body. Ideally, you run the Big 5 labs. You get a personalized plan for you. If not, you run the starter kit. That's the second greatest place to start. And I can't give you the vitamin because there's no the vitamin, right? You need to figure out what your imbalances are, meaning your deficiencies, and bring those up. And whatever your toxicities are, we need to bring those down. And that's going to help tremendously. And I agree with you. The medications are not great. I was on them as well. I was on the Florinef and the hydrocortisone and all of those. And so I get it. I understand. I wish you the best. You will get well. Stick with it. And yes, cut out gluten, sugar, and dairy. 100%. I agree with that. That doesn't mean fruit, but it does mean those. 100%. All right, Rachel is up next. Hi there. Just wondering if you could do a podcast on your recommendations for children supplements. I'd like to find out if it's necessary to provide children with multivitamins and or what supplements you suggest they take in conjunction with a balanced diet. Thank you. Rachel, great question. Again, just ask this at cabralsupportgroup.com and they'll give you that answer right away, because I have a couple podcasts on children's. I've got wellness protocols for children, the same ones that I used with my daughter. We're looking to try to come out with a single product. It won't be out for 6 months, but we're trying to do that. But for my girls, we use like 3 different products for when they're sick, a liquid vitamin C, an herbal elderberry-based one with zinc in it, and then one with like thyme, oregano, etc. that doesn't taste bad. We mix those together. And then, of course, they're taking the liquid vitamin D as well. So that's what we do when they're not feeling well. And we do that for as long as they need to in order to feel well. And we do that twice a day with breakfast and with dinner. So there you have it. If they're really bad, then we'll do it one more time a day, but typically not needed. And then for their daily vitamins, yes, they do, based on their weight, half a scoop up to 1 scoop of the daily nutritional support per day. My daughters they don't weigh a lot yet, so they just do a half a scoop. We do fruit smoothies, we do smoothie bowls, we do acai bowls. But if not, then again, if my daughter doesn't do that for a day, then she just gets one of the daily activated multivitamins. We always have the crisp apple daily fruit and vegetable blend. We give them a tiny bit, so meaning like a quarter to a half a teaspoon of the daily omega-3 support. And then they'll get some probiotics as well, the daily probiotic support, just a half to 1 capsule of that. And that's and then they get whatever they need. So then if they need other things, they take other things, but not necessarily on a daily basis because they get obviously everything from food as well. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. But really important for kids because kids are more active, than adults. And they just have to make sure that they're getting all their nutrients. All right, Nicole is up. Hi, Dr. Brawl. I have a question about ectopic heartbeats. I've been battling chronic fatigue, stress, and gut issues for a few years now, and having tragedy after tragedy in my family happen. Anyway, I did the OAT test in the HTMA, as well as the food sensitivity test, which, by the way, that's called our starter kit, plus the food sensitivity test. And I have a plan, and I'm going to heal and seal my gut. However, one very mysterious symptom I've been having, out of a few actually, is that I get ectopic heartbeats all the time. Not just a few, but hundreds a day. I did an ultrasound, as well as a 24-hour heart monitor, and they found 2,500 PVCs. All right, let's see. They've gone away for weeks at an entire time. Once I get a return, my cardiologist says it's all benign, and it's just anxiety. What are your thoughts? I don't feel like I'm an anxious person. My thyroid is optimal. I'm using Armor. There are no more antibodies present. Any help would be appreciated. Okay. So, these are all great questions. And this is what functional medicine and integrative health really excels at. But for anybody that doesn't know, ectopic heartbeats are basically your heart's either skipping a beat, add an extra beat. It's like going along beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep. And it's not normal, right? So there's this flutters. Now, I will partially agree. Again, I'm not giving medical advice. I will partially agree with your cardiologist that this can often happen under greater times of stress or anxiety. So I will agree with that, okay? But that doesn't mean there can't be other issues, such as, even histamine responses, higher histamine, imbalanced electrolytes, all sorts of things can cause this. Imbalanced or low thyroid. So these things are possible. How do you give someone advice on what to do in this particular instance? You literally do what you just did. You run the starter kit. You reduce heavy metals, you improve your electrolyte balance, you reduce overall stress, you work on improving your gut, you improve your omega-3s, which you may need to improve your omega-3s as well, and then you work on your thyroid as well. That's what I'm recommending. And the best way to do that is with an integrative health practitioner or one of our Equal Life coaches. All right? So keep it up, Nicole. You'll get there, no doubt about it. And then pay special attention to when you have a week with no ectopic heartbeats, because it could be a signal what foods am I not doing? What supplements am I doing or not doing? Am I less stressed this week? Am I getting more sleep? That's what's going to tip you off eventually. No doubt about it. Controlling variables. All right. Sarah is up. Sarah says, is it possible to get rid of thyroid antibodies? Mine has hovered around 300 for years, and deciding if damage is done and should just go on thyroid med instead of chasing full reversal. Thankful for people like you putting in the time to help the world. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. That is not just my mission, but our team's mission and our IHPs all over the world. And again, they're not our IHPs. It's just part of the IHP community. And you can find all integrative health practitioners all over the world by going to integrativehealthpractitioner.org and just click on the practitioners. So what can I share with you here? That it is absolutely possible to lower your antibodies to a healthy, normal level. All right? No doubt about it. You will not know how to get there, though, without running something like the Big 5 labs, or at least the starter kit plus the stress, mood, and metabolism test. Because you need to know why you're having an autoimmune reaction, right? So autoimmune reactions don't happen out of nowhere. Again, read my book, The Rain Barrel Effect, if you haven't read it yet. 100% of all profits go to charity. I charge $0 for it at StephenCabral.com. We just asked you to pay for shipping. I pay for the printing. If you purchase it on Amazon, great. You can purchase it on Amazon as well. And all of the profits go to charity. So that will give you the underlying, like, this is how it happens, because you need to know how it happens. And so when we look at the underlying root causes for the autoimmune issue, because again, you probably didn't have this at 8 years old, how did it happen? How did your rain barrel overflow? So, what could it be? Well, viruses, food sensitivities, leaky gut, candida, bacterial overgrowth, parasites. I already mentioned heavy metals. What else? Dental-based work. So you want to look for the possible reasons. And again, running the Big 5, or at least the starter kits, plus the stress hormones, mood, and metabolism will let you know how to get there. And there's no doubt about it that you can do it. Just no doubt about it. And you can use natural things instead if you choose. Again, it's always your choice of pharmaceuticals for right now. It's not like you'd have to just do one or the other. Like they make thyroid glandulars plus the daily thyroid support that we offer at StephenCabral.com/shop. And this is going to give your thyroid the nutrients that it needs. Then at the same time, you're working on why the immune system's imbalanced, because again, this is a Th1 immune dominant imbalance. So again, there's no doubt about it, Sarah. Stick with it. You'll get there, no doubt. All right, Courtney's up. Hello. Your story resonated with me as my 5-year-old daughter has been on daily antibiotics the last 2 years for recurring urinary tract infections due to holding and reflux to the kidneys. Doctors believe she will grow out of it. I'm very concerned that the daily antibiotics is ruining her gut and what it will mean for her future. Even with the daily antibiotic, she will have a urinary tract infection once every 3 weeks, and it will be on a full 10-day course of antibiotics. She will be starting biofeedback when she is 6. We give her a daily probiotic. What can we do to help her break the cycle, get her off of daily antibiotics, and get her gut health back? Thank you so much. All right. Courtney, we want to help, like no doubt about it, especially with kids. So here's my opinion. Run the bacteria and parasite stool test, like 100%. And I know that she's on antibiotics, and it's still not, it's going to give you a different result because she's on antibiotics, but that's okay. You still want to see what the bacteria is in the gut. I have no doubt that she has bacterial dysbiosis. Again, I'm not giving you a diagnosis, no medical treatment plans, diagnosis, or cures. No doubt. I would also run the Candida metabolic and vitamins test. Like if you only run 2, one's a urine test, one's a stool test. No doubt in my mind you should do this. And then you'll most likely be running the children's CBO protocol. And yeah, 100%, that's what I would do. 100%. Yeah, 100%. All right, because you need to really get a plan built for you. Like I don't want to just say, oh, you should use Clean Gut Probiotic, 1 capsule in the morning, 1 capsule before bed. I don't think that's enough. I think we need to get rid of the negative bacteria and help rebuild the good. And there's a specific way to do that, no doubt. Because again, antibiotics can, not always, lead to allergies and asthma and immune issues later. So I was there myself. I'm healthy. I'm okay now. So I was on them for 3 years and not good, but I got my health back, and there's no doubt we can help your daughter as well. Or again, work with any qualified specialist that does natural health for the gut, and you can work with them as well. All right, Rita is our last question of the day. Hi, I've attempted the CBO protocol twice, but can never seem to follow through all the way through the 12 weeks. The problem is that I own a bakery, and I'm always tasting our products for quality a few times a month, especially when we're creating new flavors. My bakery business truly brings me and my customers joy and fulfillment, so quitting that is currently not an option. I've taken the food sensitivity test, and I'm highly sensitive to gluten, dairy, and eggs. I don't need to have entire servings of our pastries, but I'm wondering if this will affect the effectiveness of the CBO protocol during and after the process. I know I desperately need to rebalance my gut, but I don't know how to rebalance this with my livelihood. Please help. Thank you so much. All right, Rita, thanks for writing in. Happy to help with this. Yeah, so all you need to do is get through the first 3 weeks. That's it. So get through the first 21 days, like no gluten, dairy, eggs, Okay. Get through the first 3 weeks. Follow the food guide. There's about 3 dozen vegetables, 2 dozen fruits, pretty much every protein, cutting out the grains for the first 3 weeks. It gives you the whole plan. You just follow the plan. And you can just choose your favorite foods from those. So you do that, and then you get a once a week flex meal or cheat, whatever you want to call it, of any foods that you want. Okay, but it's not the whole day. It's just one meal. So for you, this would be once a week in your business on a Monday or on a Friday or whatever day you choose. And that's going to be the day that you have some of your dairy, gluten, eggs, whatever it might be. And don't eat a lot. Just eat the minimum that you need to enjoy. Get through the 12 weeks. And then you're probably able to do that once or twice a week. So you get to enjoy your favorite foods. But you have to go through the process. So 21 days, then once a week, eat a little bit. And then after the 12 weeks, okay, then a little bit more. All right? So that is the way to do it. Hopefully that was helpful. All right, we've got 6 more questions that we'll be answering tomorrow on our second Cabral House Call of the weekend. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, as I say, please always feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it can serve. And I would love for you to review the show if you can quickly. Subscribe. All of that helps bring our message to more people. Take care, everyone. I want to sincerely thank you for your support of this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, and I mean that. I truly do. I also want to make sure you knew that we now have multiple ways for you to find your answers to the most difficult health, wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions. You can find podcast-specific topics like thyroid, adrenal, hormones, sleep, digestion, Ayurveda, and many more at stephencabral.com/podcasts that will then link you to your favorite Apple, Spotify, and other podcast players. Plus, all new podcasts and weekly exclusive video content is being added to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Stephen Cabral. And that's Stephen with a PH. Head on over and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exclusive content. Lastly, if you've ever found any of my podcasts or books to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or your favorite media player for the podcast. Rating and subscribing to the YouTube and podcast allow me to reach more and more people and help spread my mission of healing throughout the world. Thank you again for being a part of this movement.